Let's get started. I'm assuming Elizabeth will join us shortly. So let's open up the meeting at 9:31. So, and let's start with the minutes. There's Elizabeth.
Hello.
Morning. Minutes look great to me.
I just had two little things.
Okay.
One in the treasurer's report, Ann Stevens has an E at the end of Ann.
Okay.
Right.
And and Dina, you attached the intake, and on the intake, we had agreed to drop man after chair. So prepare executive session summary checklist forward to HCT chair rather than chairman. So
Okay.
those were my only comments. Otherwise, they're beautiful.
Thank you. I will tell you that I did not also attach the resource page because it was in a PDF and I didn't know how to attach the PDF to the rest of the Word documents. So, and besides the fact it's going to be on the website, I didn't know that it was that important to add.
Which was actually, I wanted to ask Jeremy if all of the job descriptions are now on our website. Or do you have them all?
Hey everybody, sorry, I'm in the car right now. So I have the job descriptions, I believe. I don't think they're on the website, but I can get them up there.
As long as you've got them, that's the main thing.
And we're
Yes,
going to change
absolutely.
the social services resources anyway, so hold off on that.
What do you mean?
Well, we're adding the tax relief section, remember?
That's already on there.
It's already on there.
Okay. Oh, good, I see it. Okay, great.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that in a minute. So is everybody in favor of the accepting the minutes as adjusted?
Aye.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay.
Aye.
All set. Executive session minutes?
They're fine.
Any comments?
No comment.
Okay. All in favor?
Hi.
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 All right. On to the treasurer's report. I don't have any comments on that. It's as it is. So any questions on that one? No?
Nope.
Nope.
Can I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So
I make a
moved.
motion to accept so moved. Yes, that.
Okay. All in favor?
Second.
Hi.
Aye.
All right.
Right.
That was pretty quick. Let's go on to the update on the silent fun camper ships, which I want to
Sure.
say that I got a message from Bonnie saying, wow,
Yeah.
you guys are great.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
I went over them with Bonnie and with Judy and really appreciated your support, Judy, my first time around. And just there were a few people that I knew, so I was able to weigh in a little bit on who they are. And am I supposed to list the people
I
and the
don't-
amounts? No.
No, I don't think so.
No?
We
Okay.
ended up,
So
I don't have the sheet in front of me, so can you just
Yep,
tell us?
so we ended up with 12 applications for a total of $7,350. And there's one more application. We're just waiting on their status, their residency, because there's one applicant that, 12 total. One of them we are still waiting on where she's living.
Okay.
So the 11 applicants
Yes, for a
was
total of
7,300.
7,350.
Right.
Mhm.
So is this fewer than we've had in previous years? By a lot.
Well, it actually has gone a little bit up and down, but it is fewer this year.
Yeah,
But not by a whole lot. I don't,
Not by, yeah.
yeah.
Wondering if I have, let me see, if you'd like, I can dig up Bonnie's original email with our historical numbers. Let me see.
Do you think everyone who should know about it does know about this?
Yes,
Okay,
I do, because Bonnie works really hard to get the word out through schools
yeah,
and people that we have helped before.
okay.
so I'm just wondering what the camps are that people are applying to. Are they all open?
I'm sorry, I don't have the,
Oh, okay, we
Yeah.
usually get a sheet that just says, kind of where they're
oh,
going, whatever.
okay. So I
But
wasn't,
no,
yeah.
that's okay. I was just
Yeah.
curious
Whether
because
they're
it's an
open or
odd
not,
year. What?
I'm assuming that they're all open since the
Okay.
parents have vetted them, hopefully. But the awards that we gave, the highest was $1,000. A couple of them were $1,000. We were a little bit more generous because we had a fairly good amount in the account. And some of the families that Bonnie highly recommended that we help as much as we possibly could. And in fact, in one situation, we paid for the entire, it was a cheap camp and we paid for the entire thing.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So Bonnie felt good about what we replied to her, the amounts.
Mhm.
She was very comfortable with what Elizabeth handed her.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
welcome.
First time through.
Do you need any more, does anybody need any more?
I was just curious. It wasn't even for the minutes. I was just curious myself because, this COVID year, last year, all the camps closed on us. And
Yes.
so I just kind of was interested in where we are.
Yeah, and you all know that this is only for camps that are not connected with the recreation department.
Right.
They have their own system of scholarships.
And I'm sorry, I can't locate Bonnie's original email with the historical numbers of applications.
It would be, I'd be interested if you do get it.
Well,
Yes,
we had 12 applications this time around. I probably can get it. Let me just look. It's great having two computers going at once. All right, Bonnie.
oh, here it is. Okay. 2019, we had 17 applications. 2018, we had 14 applications. 2017, we had 19 applications. At the time that she wrote this, we had received 10, representing 17 children, and the final ended up being 12.
How many children
representing-
does it represent, Elizabeth?
For the 12, I'm going to have to count it off the sheet, but I'll let you know in 2 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2.
And can I just ask the question, the 12 is and I think I heard that $1,000 was the largest grant?
Yes,
Yes.
and that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
19 children.
19. Okay. And $1,000,
Thank
I don't think we've ever done that before, Jane.
So that's a very large grant for Hugh Cargill.
Yeah.
This is not Hugh Cargill, it's Silent Fund.
Island Fund.
I'm sorry, yeah.
So just a question, did Cindy Alton get into that
Yes,
list?
she did.
Okay. Oh, good, thank you.
This is a public meeting, please.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder. No names.
No names. I just want to make sure she got it.
Yeah,
Yep. Any other questions on the silent fund? It went really smoothly. Bonnie
Did.
has her act together and is timely, and as is Elizabeth, so it worked out.
good job.
Okay,
Good.
shall we move on to the next item, which is Bonnie and I had a couple of conversations this past month, and she reminded me that several years ago, the Hugh Cargill committee got together with her in her office. At that time, it was on Everett Street. And we talked about our clients and what she knows about them, sort of a background. And we identified a few people that we needed to talk about. Anyway, she would like to do it again. She found it really helpful to have I want to say a one-on-one, but obviously it's not. It's a six-person conversation about what we're doing, how we're making our decisions, and are we interested in that? She would like to do it sometime this summer after the townhouse is open and we're starting to have in-person meetings
Person.
again.
Good.
Everybody in favor of that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
We don't need to talk about that anymore now. I will just set the wheels in motion and we'll let you know. I don't know if it will be a regular meeting or it might be an extra meeting. We'll have to, I don't remember. I think I was at this meeting. In fact, I know I was. But I don't remember how it was organized, but I'll let you know. Okay, that's briefly it. CMLP update. I had a real shocker, and this is again from Bonnie. This is just FYI. She told me that, as we know, July 1st, we're going to start, CMLP will start doing cutoffs for people who have not kept up with their bills and have not communicated and tried to keep up with their bills. She told me that CMLP is near a $1 million deficit from people who have not paid their bills, which to me was shocking. So I just wanted to warn you that it may be difficult for us to get more money from CMLP. I don't know what the ramifications are, but it's just something to keep in the back of our head and to remind ourselves that we need to carefully use those funds. And of course, she also told me that, this is a little aside, but when the winter moratorium is over, it seems to be a similar group of people every year who have not paid their bills in the wintertime, knowing that they will not be cut off. Which is disappointing
those-
to me.
Are those accumulating year upon year, or do
I
they
would-
catch back up in the warmer months?
Well, hopefully, but there are also ones who come to us asking for, well, you know, my bill is $2,000. Oops, I didn't pay anything this past winter. Would you help me out here? And the thing that disappoints me is that it seems to be a pattern with certain people. So again, we can't talk about names here, but it's just something to keep in mind as we discuss during executive session our grants to people who want help with CMLP. Oh,
Is
any questions on
that part of, I'm sorry, is that part of our conversation with Bonnie? To try to make connections about all these
Oh,
people?
I would-
I think it should be. I think that was a very useful part of our conversation with Bonnie. She works closely with Ann Stevens at CMLP office.
Okay.
And
Well, because that came up with the camperships, you know, the more information we have about the total support that someone is receiving from different
Exactly.
organizations, the better we
Mhm.
can make our decisions.
Exactly. And that will be a part of the very helpful meeting with Bonnie later in the year.
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's move on then. Elizabeth, do you want to talk about the distribution for the?
Sure. So I'm going to admit I was a little confused when I sent it to Bonnie because her response was, I have one already. And it goes, it goes to all these places. And so I was just a little confused about whether we were parallel tracks or, but in any case, we did finalize the resources list, and it's the one that everybody has. It didn't change, except for adding the tax relief. And Bonnie puts them up everywhere. So we talked a little bit about, I just completely drew a blank, Judy. We were talking about new
Well,
places that we could put it that
right.
we hadn't considered.
What Bonnie said was the old one that we probably have in our file somewhere was done in 2017, I believe. And that she has updated it recently and reconfigured it. She had an intern who she praises highly and has updated the large bound social services resources guide. And those will be available at the usual spots: libraries, schools, fire station, police department, on and on. So she and she and Elizabeth and I were kind of going, why did we do this?
Right.
And, she had sort of misunderstood and we had misunderstood. However, she is going to be putting them in doctors' offices around town.
That's what it
She
was. The doctor's
used to put the
office.
books in doctors' offices and they would disappear because, she said you're sitting in the office and you're looking at something and you just take it home, and it was getting to be too expensive for them to keep them replenished. But she said the shorter list is great. And she's also going to do the same thing with Emerson Hospital. So that it turns out they're very useful. The abbreviated resources listing is very useful, but not the way we thought it was going to be originally.
Can I ask a question there on the distribution?
Sure.
Are we, are the school guidance departments or the school secretaries on the list?
For hers, the larger ones,
For
yes.
ours. Okay.
She puts them all over town. And our shorter abbreviated version will be, just as far as I know, will be only placed in as many doctor's offices as she's aware of, and also at the hospital.
So this is something people can pick up and take home with them as opposed to the
Exactly.
book,
And
because
she's
I have the old one and those are kind of expensive for people to take home with them. So,
exactly.
yeah, so
And that
this
was
is,
what was happening because they publish a lot of them and they want some people to take them home, but not just on an ad hoc, oh, this is kind of interesting, I'll never use it, but I'll put it in my files kind of a thing.
Here's a question. I could attach it in my communication with some of our recipients where I know they would really find it useful. And
I think that's an excellent idea, Lucy.
so I will, maybe not with everybody, but with quite a number of them, it would be really useful.
Good.
So,
Do you have a copy of that on your computer that you can print, that you can pass on?
I'm not sure I have the final, so I don't think I have the final printed one.
Okay, so Elizabeth, could you make sure that Lucy has an electronic version of that? So she
Yeah,
can,
as a
Yeah,
word,
I'll
as
send it
a-
around by PDF to everybody.
I'd like to have it as a Word document if it's possible.
Sure.
do you have it as a Word document?
I'm sure I can find, or I am sure I have the Word doc as well.
Yeah,
Why is the Word document? So I'm concerned about sending a Word document to people on the receiving end, like you having it, is fine, but I'm a little concerned about sending it off on to others who would then have the ability to change it.
Well, these are people who are, we are serving, and they have complex situations. And I'm already working closely with St. Vincent de Paul. You all know that.
No, Lucy, I'm sorry. I think you misunderstand. If you have the Word document, I mean, our committee, obviously, we all have the Word document. We might decide to make changes to it. But if you send a Word document to a recipient, they then have the ability to change it. And that's my concern, that it would somehow lose its consistency.
I can't imagine that. I think it should have a date on it would be an important thing. So the date that the final document was approved. But I mean, I can't imagine they're going to change it and then use that in a nefarious way. It just
Well,
doesn't
I
seem-
would be interested, Lucy, why don't you want it as a PDF?
I don't know. PDF is fine. I just find Word documents useful, but PDF, fine.
And that-
I'll send both around to everybody.
Okay.
And I'll add a date.
Because just looking at some of the people on our list, I think it would be very helpful to them. And so they would not use it to edit it or distribute it themselves. I mean, none of these people would do that.
Well,
Okay.
it wasn't nefarious, actually. It was, you want it to be passed around and shared and for them to tell people about it. I don't know. It's just, I've always looked at it as a
Safety feature.
yeah, maintaining the integrity of the document is that you create a PDF, but it's fine. I'll send them both.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Are we all set with that? Any questions about the document and its distribution? All right, let's move on then. Bob, you wanted to talk about tax relief annual application letters.
Yeah. Jeremy very nicely sent the letters out this week, 52 applicants. And if all are accepted, there'd be like $67,600, which is about 54% of the available balance.
You said 67,600.
1,600.
I guess I could have figured that out myself.
And maybe we'll get additional people on, but it seems like we've got, plus we'll have we've got enough on the balance, but we'll have additional fundraising in the fall as
Yes.
usual. Like so.
I would assume.
So it's-
52 is just a couple more than we've had in the past, isn't it?
Well, it's been about that number. I
Yeah.
think Jeremy could verify, but it's
Well,
been
I could
around
too.
51, 2. Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the
And-
treasurer's report, it should be there.
So I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but something like that. So the letters just went out to everybody who we had on the list last year. And then of course people are able to send in new applications as well.
For the last two tax quarters, we've had 51 and 52.
Right. Yeah.
So,
We don't lose many, and maybe we'll gain some more this
yeah.
time around. So
Well, we have 124,000 in that account, so we can afford it.
yeah.
So thank you, Bob. That was good
Yeah,
work, Jeremy. Good
we're
work,
asking-
Bob.
One more thing, we're asking for a return and was it June 4th, Jeremy? That's the when the
Yep.
return?
Mhm.
So hopefully we'll have it straightened out and we'll follow up if people fail to respond. So,
Can't hear you, Bob.
well, I will follow up, if people fail to respond. Just to see, maybe they misplaced or whatever, so.
And we conveniently on that June 8th, we'll have a meeting on our regular schedule. So if there are any issues or questions about the applicants, we can discuss that in an executive session.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Is that all set?
I'm good.
Oh, we'll move on. We're ready to move on. I just have one
Yep.
other thing under other business. We did not receive the grant that we had applied to. That's basically the only message I got. So it
Okay.
was short and sweet.
Which grant was that? I forgot.
The one that,
Ackerman?
yes, the Bud Ackerman account.
Oh, okay,
or,
all right.
Fund. So I'm sure that there were a lot of applications. Elizabeth, did Gaining Ground make the cut?
Yes, we did receive it.
Okay.
I think the email said how many, there were a lot of
Applicants?
applicants.
I got no information. It was just
No.
you didn't make the cut.
That's too bad.
Okay, well, anyway.
I have one other business item. Every Tuesday I have a work meeting at 10:30, which is why I had to leave early last week. The last time we had a meeting, I was able to move it to 11. I wasn't able to move it to 11 today, but I'm just wondering how much, like if I can move that meeting permanently, how much time should I allot for this meeting so that I'm sure I don't need to leave early?
You know, when we meet on Zoom, we are much more efficient.
Okay,
I have to say, when we have to get together in person and we all take a little break between public and executive, I would say 11 at the earliest, but if I went into old minutes, I might see later times.
okay.
Judy, do you have a different?
No, what I was going to say was it's very hard
To know.
to know, to pin it down. We've had some really short meetings and we've also had some that have gone into noon.
Okay.
But knowing that you've got,
I will try to move that.
The
It used to
deadline.
be Mondays, so there wasn't a conflict. And then Monday became a conflict for one of the members, so we moved it to Tuesday. And when I go today, I'll have the same conversation about whether I can, we can move
if
it
it
to a
could,
different day.
obviously, if it could be moved to another day, it would be terrific. If it could
Yep.
be postponed to 11 or 11:30, it would be helpful.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So I have another, I
Oh,
have something. I was contacted by the Domestic Violence Services Network, which serves many towns locally. And they didn't know anything about Hugh Cargill Trust and said, is it still alive? And I said, yes, it's alive and flourishing. And so I've been in conversation with them about the occasional person they might refer to us for help, which might fall outside of the Bonnie realm and other realms, but working with their social worker. These are local people, Concord. So
yeah.
anyway, I don't have anybody, but we're just talking about it because
Okay.
it would then go to the police through the police department. So, and they would be referring also.
But that would be appropriate, but I also think that they should be encouraged to go through the Bonnie realm.
Oh, no, I agree, but it wouldn't start there is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, no, I used to volunteer with them. I know how the system works unless it's changed drastically.
Yeah.
I used to be one of the callers. Okay, are we all set? Can we get back here in about 2 minutes?
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So we adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting for the purpose of going into executive session so that we can discuss individuals or families seeking assistance, the disclosure of which would be a violation of privacy.
Thank
Second.
you, Dina. All in favor,
In a minute.
roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody. All right, we'll see you all in a couple of minutes.
Okay, very good.